All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where we've got, it seems, all of the sudden, magically, the two best lightweights in the world looking at fighting each other, and a whole bunch of people giving their comments and making it seem as if it's an easy fight between the two. And I find the timing of this statement, if not the accuracy of it, highly questionable. And that is the fight that is supposed to be taking place between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about what Floyd Mayweather Jr. had to say about Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson, and also adding his 2 cents to the mixed Pauli who both say Shakur Stevenson's a better fighter than Gervonta Davis. Surprise, surprise with this. Actually, Floyd Mayweather said that Shakur was more skilled. Pauli says that fight is an easy fight for Shakur Stevenson. Now, before I get into the details of this, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really makes a big difference to the channel. Thank you. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks. Matteo, Barbara D, man, Daryl McKinney. My condolences to Daryl McKinney and his family on the loss of his mother. Be strong. Prayers are with you. Again, my condolences. Let's get into the topic here, though. First, let me tell you what I think. I think that Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson are both really good fighters. I think that they are probably the best 2 fighters in that lightweight division. I don't think you can really eliminate, though, Vasily Lomachenko from that discussion, even though, you know, he's an older fighter and he's had a couple losses in that division. But still, you know, I think both of those losses were questionable. Anyway, just respect to Lomachenko, because I think Lomachenko's a terrific fighter. But consensus right about now is that the number 1 guys are Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Not too long ago, Floyd Mayweather Jr. was asked who did he think was the better fighter, or who he thought was the most skilled fighter at 135. And he said he thought it was Shakur Stevenson. Before that, he said he thinks, you know, that Gervonta Davis is maybe the biggest puncher, but hands down the most skilled is Shakur Stevenson. This is followed up by Pauli, who says that he thinks Shakur Stevenson would have an easy fight with Gervonta Davis. If anybody's listened to this channel, you know that I've always given as much respect possible as I can to both of those fighters, Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. But I got to say something on this. If you look at what Floyd said about one guy having the most skill and the other guy probably being the most powerful, having the most power in the division, let me tell you, man, that is not a surefire. He ain't predicting who's going to win that fight by saying that, because you absolutely can have more. And I hate this skill stuff. I prefer more who's more effective. But you say this guy is better at this, and this, however you divide it up. But this guy has more power. Watch this. If you put this into basketball and you say, okay, well, who's more skilled? A basketball player. And you say, okay, is it LeBron James or is it, I don't know, man. You can just say Luka Doncic, but put them the same age, right? Luka Doncic is more skilled. He's not going to be able to do anything with LeBron James. Not a 25, 26-year-old LeBron James. He's not going to do anything with him because LeBron James is more talented. And I think that is something that people always leave out of the equation. You can talk about skill all you want. unless you've got that talent, or if you have skill and talent, but somebody else has close to as much skill as you do, but more talent, and their style and something they can do is something you can't stop, that person is going to win. The idea that that is an easy fight for Shakur Stevenson from Pauli Malignaggi, to me, it's a little bit mind-boggling. It's like you just know that Gervonta Davis will never touch him. Even though Shakur Stevenson most definitely did not have an easy fight with Jeremiah Nakathila, and he definitely didn't have an easy fight with Edwin De Los Santos. So the idea that it's just going to be an easy fight for Shakur Stevenson, to me, I think that that is disrespectful to Gervonta Davis and what Gervonta Davis brings to the table. And much more disrespectful than what Floyd said, because Floyd is just saying, okay, yeah, this guy's probably more skilled. This guy's more skilled. This guy has more power. Man, guys with more power and more aggressiveness beat guys with more skills. And they will beat them often. May not always beat them. It just depends on how skilled you are and how skilled they are. Because I don't think anybody looking at Gervonta Davis would say that Gervonta Davis does not possess skill. Right? I don't think anybody out there would say that he doesn't know that he doesn't have good solid defense, that he doesn't have good ring generalship, that he doesn't have very clean punching, and most importantly, that he's not abounding with talent. Now, there's some size there, but I'm not saying at the same time that Shakur Stevenson can't win that fight, because Shakur Stevenson is highly skilled and he's got a little bit of power. He's got some power too. They're both southpaws, so it's just an interesting matchup. But I just think that just certain aspects, certain people in boxing really, truly never get their respect. While certain people claim they don't get respect, meanwhile, most of their accomplishments are greatly exaggerated by a whole bunch of people that are hating on somebody else. Gervonta Davis is absolutely, positively one of the most underrated fighters in boxing. If Gervonta Davis was from the UK, and I'll just say from the UK, he doesn't have to be British by ethnicity. If he was just from the UK, man, this dude would without a doubt be called the #1 pound for pound fighter in the year in the world and the greatest fighter I've ever seen in my life. If Bob Arum was promoting Gervonta Davis, he'd be the greatest fighter I've ever seen in my life, provided he didn't have a Mexican fighter or a Japanese fighter that he liked more on his stable at the same time. But anyway, man, to me, the whole thing is wild. I'm looking forward to the fight. On the other side of it, I think the disrespect of Shakur Stevenson is way over the top too. Way over the top. The man had one bad performance and then all of a sudden a whole bunch of people are calling him garbage. Just massive overreaction. But I do hope eventually the fight can be made. And they're not just used. Basically, the one is not used to tear the other down. But I do find it interesting that after Devin Haney lost, that's the guy that Gervonta Davis is now going to be ducking every 5 seconds until the fight actually takes place. And again, I definitely hope that fight takes place. I don't know if it will, but I hope that it does. And I don't really know who the winner will be. But I'm telling you this, Gervonta Davis better be able to cut that ring off on that kid. And I'm also going to tell you this, Shakur Stevenson better not get touched by that kid, because that's going to be some problems. And Shakur better not be overestimating his hand speed and underestimating that of Gervonta Davis, underestimating the skills of Gervonta, because Gervonta very rarely looks the same in two different fights. He just does so many different things and approaches the fights in so many different ways. Do you really know what Gervonta you're going to get? Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.